Hello, I'm Francesca, and this is your weekly energy and love relationship forecast for the week of October 20th through the 26th. And first and foremost, how is everybody doing after that full moon? That was some big energy. Maybe you're still integrating. That's totally fine. We're always affected a few days before, a few days after, and this was a big one. So really just honor wherever you are. Maybe you felt a little more fatigue. Maybe you need to drink more water, rest. It's all perfect. Trust your instincts and use your discernment and take care of you. All right. On the 22nd, we have the sun moving into Scorpio. So happy birthday to all my Scorpio friends, viewers, watchers. It's your time. All right. So what's interesting is when I kind of tune into the beginning of this week, it feels maybe a little slow, but not in a bad way. Maybe getting your footing, finding new footing after this last full moon. But then the 23rd, it feels like things really start to kind of pick up. Maybe your energy levels will come back. There might be like a spike in your motivation to get things done. So whatever works for you, trust it. But that's what the feel is, at least right now in this point in time. So we shall see when it gets here how it feels. All right. So diving in, interestingly enough, um, was only guided to pull two cards and then a third one as kind of like a clarity motivator. And the first card that got picked was the Jaguar. And I love that the number is 28 on here. The Jaguar is fierce, is fearless, but there's also like this protection vibe that the Jaguar has. So it's one of those things where whatever you are working on this week, especially with the Jaguar, trust that it is divinely protected, divinely guided. Um, what I love about Jaguar spirit is the Jaguar, there is this night and day kind of balance. Like the Jaguar moves between both super easily. Um, and because of this fierceness, it's an opportunity to dive in, to look at the shadow or maybe the parts that we hide from others or we hide from ourselves. And so this is an opportunity. And so a lot of times I find, especially as people start their journey or they start working with mentors and their spiritual awakening, or I prefer to call it a remembering, you're just remembering your light to a greater degree, remembering your essence to a greater degree. Sometimes folks can try to circumvent the shadow or the shadow work. And then you have this other extreme where people are only in the shadow and there's a happy medium. The shadow is nothing to be afraid of. It's simply things that need to get brought to the light. That's it. And the shadow to me like that's where some of your juices, your fuel, what you're going to use to transform, because that's going to be where your desires are hidden, like what you truly want that maybe you're afraid to look at as a spiritual being. And the opportunity is to not be afraid, especially if you have the Jaguar. The Jaguar is fierce. The Jaguar functions perfectly well in the shadow. So take whatever resonates, leave the rest, use your own intuition and discernment as your guide. And then, as always, with these cards and in these forecasts, there's always synchronicity. So the second card that came up was the moon. And the moon, there's also a piece about the progression between darkness to light, the cycles, the ebb and flow. And so this pairs absolutely perfectly with the Jaguar in looking at the shadow, or what we may try to hide or ignore or push down. So the read then is that the energy this week is an excellent opportunity to go into that stillness, and maybe the beginning of the week, especially coming off of that full moon, the full moon illuminating those aspects that we are ready to release. So everything is a cycle. What served you in the past that now no longer does? What can you let go of? And remember that your primary relationship is always with yourself. So what do you want more of? What maybe feels out of balance? And if you are in relationship, maybe the past couple weeks, there has felt like maybe something's off, maybe there is an imbalance. So taking a look at, well, what piece is imbalanced and what needs to shift? What can I do, or maybe let go of? Maybe just a simple shift in perspective and looking at things from a higher perspective, a different angle. And just by doing that, things kind of fall back into balance and are maybe not what you thought they were from your previous little perch there. And I think, once again, with the cycles and looking at, once again, that full moon, what's hidden. So if you are dating, is there something that you are hiding from your dates? Or if you're just dating one person, can you stand fully in your power? Are you afraid to stand in your power? Listen, Jaguar does not back down. Jaguar is not like, hey, yeah, I'm kind of sort of afraid. I'm just gonna, no, 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 no. The Jaguar is like fully in its body, in its power, in its glory. So how can you, if you aren't, how can you stand fully in your power in a very humble, balanced way? Super juicy. Totally digging the vibe for this week. And then the last card, so there might be a little more reflection this week, but what's interesting then, as I pulled one last card for support, that kind of came through. And the other thing I wanted to mention too is the moon, the card is 37. So 33 and 7 is 10. We have the 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. Awesome. What's also interesting is the moon is a 28-day cycle. So if you are into numerology, we have 10. Also, if you break that down to a single digit, you have 1. So 1 is a new beginning. So after the 10, the fulfillment, we start again with 1 new beginning. Once again, cycles. Fabulous. So then the little card for a little zhuzh, a little support, as if these cards weren't beauteous enough. They are. Ace of Fire. It's a 1. It's a new beginning. Fire. We're going to have action. And so there's also, but it's an inspired transformation. And I always think about the Phoenix, right? So there's an ending, but then there's a beginning. It's a cycle, right? So there's this beautiful cyclical theme. There's the fire. Fire can be very purifying as well. New beginnings. So yes, it's a very great week for some, like I said, the beginning of the week might be a little more slower moving, contemplative. Absolutely take the time that you need. Get centered, get grounded, look at those things that perhaps you put off looking at before, but now it might be easier. And it's absolutely fine. Once again, with the moon and the cycles, everything has its time and its place. What are you ready to look for, let go of, release? And then how can you stand more fully in your power? Be fierce and fearless. Throw a little caution to the wind. We have then that Ace of Fire. Take the action, the inspired transformation. All right. Let me know in the comments where you are watching from and which piece resonated most with you for this week. I would love to hear because for everybody it's different. And so that's what makes it so wonderful. Everybody has their own perspective. All right. Once again, thank you so much for watching and taking the time. You can watch so many different things, and so deeply grateful for you choosing to watch this video. I hope it resonated. Give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, hit that notification bell, spread it around, share with your friends, help spread the love vibes around the world. And until next time, more love vibes to come. Ciao.